I'm back part 2. As you see, there is not even it's a $40 fine. Parking in an expired 72-hour. This vehicle gets moved every 72 hours, before 72 hours. But yet and still, they want to keep putting these tickets on this vehicle. Let them tow it. This is just more harassment. As you all see, they first came and wrote this white stuff on my tires, which were on the ground, where somebody now has put this marking on it to level it up. And this car gets moved every 72 hours, before 72 hours. So what you're doing now is just total harassment. And then they're riding on my private property. But yet and still, as you see those vehicles down there, they're parked in a no parking zone, but they don't say shit to them. And it's marked down there saying no parking.
Officer 0000000 is recording.
They have vehicles all up and down this street where there's no parking, but yet and still they want to come here and keep writing these fictitious tickets to try to intimidate and harass me. Well, chief, it ain't gonna work. And you can tell your officers it ain't gonna work. And you can tell your mayor, your government, it's not gonna work. You'll be soon receiving your documents of intent to sue your ass for this fucking shit. So get ready. This is more evidence of attempted intimidation by a government entity that's been butthurt. They came and they tried to evict me off of property that they had no jurisdiction on. We went to court. I beat them at that. I beat them at everything they've done. And now we got more intimidation. They towed all these vehicles, this was one of them, and they have to pay the bill. Them and their little conspirators have to pay the bill to Montgomery County for the storage. They took me to court saying I was trespassing. Then not one of them showed up, but the officer that arrested me, that was ordered to arrest me, and I beat them at that. They dismissed that. Now, they out here fucking with my cars again in this little ragtag town where the citizens are too scared to even do anything about them. But as you see, these trucks, these corporations, they're parking their big trucks down here on this dead-end street where there are no parking signs. But yet and still, they don't get any tickets on them. Again, selective enforcement in Takoma Park with big businesses. So let's see if the police comes out here for this vandalism. As you see, and I'm going to show you the vandalism, riding on a citizen's property. You see this white stuff on these tires? That's vandalism. You have no right, and a government agency has no right to ride on a citizen's property. Again, there are no parking signs that say no parking. The problem is they say this vehicle isn't registered. Show me a law that a citizen has to register their private property with a government agency. I have no contract with the Department of Motor Vehicles or the government with my private property. People choose to put those tags on their vehicles if they're not commercial. I do no commerce with this vehicle. I travel with this vehicle. But because they know they're in the wrong, let's see if they show up. But they're going to have to show up. They're going to have to show up to the federal court and explain themselves with 12 citizens in this big lawsuit. That I guarantee you. Or they're going to forfeit. And I'm going to bankrupt this little town. And then to the taxpayers and the citizens of Takoma Park, this is nothing personal. This is because you won't get out and stop these little criminals from the mayor's office, chief of police, from doing this little dumb shit. As you see, these trucks are parked on Sligo Mill Road, and there is no parking signs on this street from this stop sign on back this way. But these trucks get to park here because they're big businesses. As you see, not one sign is on this street here. And these clowns came up here early this morning and marked this vehicle and put this ticket on here. And as you see, there are no more tickets on any other of these cars. Selective enforcement, intimidation. Because I won't put a government brand on my vehicle, which is these tags, which there is no law to do so. But these cars get to park, there are no tickets on them, which I don't care about that. They have a right to do that. But they know who I am, so they're going to take their precious time getting here. So let's just wait for them. And they damn sure don't have any crime going on here. They can't even solve the murder that was down at Advance Auto, and everybody knows who the victim is and who the murderer is, but they can't even solve it. But yet and still, they sent over what it was, 9, 10, almost 15 police cars down there, and not one has all the way came down here for vandalism on a citizen's vehicle. This shit has to stop. And I'm gonna make Takoma Park an example of stopping this shit. An example. No citizen has to register their vehicle or any other their private property with a government agency. That is a myth, and that is a con the government has been putting on its people. Your private property is your business unless you are doing commerce, which is business in that vehicle. This vehicle is for me to travel, nothing more. I don't do business in this vehicle. And for the government to come out and write on my private property is a crime in itself. and it says vehicle not registered. It was put on here at 2:55 a.m. This is the kind of bullshit that they go around and they write up on vehicles. And on this ticket, they says park in excess of 72 hours. This vehicle was moved yesterday, so how can it be 72 hours since I moved it yesterday? They probably won't show up. But this is just more intimidation that law enforcement does not respond to a citizen's call in this little town. But again, I call for the vandalism of my vehicle, riding on my vehicle without my permission, which is vandalism. I don't know if you can hear the vehicle, but the vehicle is on. That's the motor running. But again, citizens of Takoma Park, this shows you the response time and the derelict of duty of your law enforcement division. And the butthurtness of them, that there are certain people they don't even respond to, even though they are citizens and taxpayers and American people of this town, that they can't even get service from your little Barney Fife Police Department because they are so butthurt. And this doesn't come from the officers. I know where it comes from. It comes from chain of command. Those individuals who sit in that office with that brass on their chest thinking that they're somebody. Well, you all about to find out just who you are. Because each one of y'all will be receiving a lawsuit. Now all these cars get to park down here because they have tags on their cars. The little government tags. Because I refuse to register my vehicle, which the Supreme Court has already ruled, I don't have to register anything with a government agency. And the Constitution says I am secure in my papers and property. So why are you writing tickets on my vehicle? On my private property. Taxpayers and citizens, know your rights, learn the law, and take a stand. These individuals are in cahoots with the government. These big businesses are in cahoots with the government. In making money for these big businesses. So let's see how long it takes them to come. But this shows you that if they're butthurt, they're not going to respond to you. Even though the law is they're supposed to respond to all 911 calls or calls of service. This shows you what they're about. And it's not just this town, it's all over. And it's the individuals at the top that are making these butthurt decisions about this situation.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, young man?
Hey, how much you selling?
2.5.
Huh?
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
What year is it?
6.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
That's for my for sale sign of the vehicle. Which I haven't really want to sell it. This sign just now is up here because they tell me I can't have it up here. And you can't tell me what to do with my private property. So, we have called the Takoma Park Police Department and no one has responded so far. Even though you saw how many police they have when a shooting took place that they still haven't solved. As you see down the street there, that where these trucks are no parking. No parking. But yet and still, not one of those trucks get tickets down that area. But you come and ticket this car because your butt hurt and you've been ordered to do so. Show me the law that says a citizen has to register their private property with a government agency. And I'll show you a violation of the supreme law, which is the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment is very clear. Everyone is secure in their property, papers, and effects. Oh, they know who this call is and they know who vehicle this is. And ladies and gentlemen, vandalism is stated very clear about that. And the government of this town has vandalized my vehicle. And I want it reported. And I'm going to report it every time they come down here and write on my vehicle. These individuals have to stop doing things that they think they can get away with. And in this little town, I've been informed they've been doing a lot of little illegal shit. So, there's always something in this little town of Takoma Park, Maryland. They say 72 hours. I moved this vehicle yesterday, the 31st. So how is it 72 hours already? First of all. Secondly, there is no sign that say you can't park here. I'm surprised they haven't thrown up signs in retaliation for that. You know. But they're coming. They're going to do that. Because their butt hurt. And when people buck against a system that is corrupt, this is the kind of foolishness you get. Retaliation against you. They hope that you will buckle under. Not. You see, too many people have died for these rights. Too many people have died for these constitutional rights that their grandfather wrote up. And when you get somebody who's going to stand up and believe in these rights that were written by their people, they got a problem with it. And especially a person of color. If you don't think this is racism, oh, it is. It is. How dare a black man defy what I tell him to do? And that's what's going on in this little town with this situation here. And I don't know about across the United States, but I'm telling you, what is going on in this little town is that a black man is being defiant to what these individuals down there in that little town is telling them what to do. And this is why they love, this whole town is mostly immigrants. And people who are afraid that they have put fear into to buck. They won't buck because they are afraid of that individual with that patch on and that gun on their side. You don't put fear in me, Chief. You don't put fear in me, Mayor. And you haven't learned that yet? My professor told me the most dangerous person is an educated black man. And you're about to find out how educated I am. Streetwise and book-wise. That's why you refuse to come to the trial. That's why you refuse to pay the ticket to Montgomery County for the toll. That's why you conjured up all this foolishness with the owner of the property, trying to make him liable for your foolishness. But I'm about to show you you're wrong. So we're still waiting on this so-called law enforcement division in this little town for vandalism. At 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm pretty sure there is no crime rate going on. So let's call them back. And if she's not going to send an officer down here, I want the CCN numbers.
Takoma Park Police, ID 509. This line is recorded. How can I help you?
Yeah, I called earlier for get an officer down here for vandalism.
Yes, sir. For the Mazda vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. The officers are currently on emergency calls, but as soon as they're available, I'm going to send them their way.
Okay, what I need is the CCN numbers for this call. I know for a fact you're not on an emergency, but I need the CCN numbers for this call. This call is being recorded. I am recording it also.
Yes, sir.
So I would like the CCN numbers of this phone call that I'm making to your department right now.
Okay, so the incident number that I have for your call for the vandalism at Sligo Mill and Sheridan is going to be 2200
2200
204 855.
204 855.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're telling me that you do not have an officer to come down to a citizen's call of service.
Unfortunately, they're currently occupied with emergency calls, and as soon as they do become available, I
Well,
will be able
this
to
is an emergency, young lady. My car has been vandalized.
I'm sorry, sir. 1 second.
See, this is the foolishness that they try. I told you. They're all on a call, emergency call. Come on.
My apologies, sir. I had an emergency line.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm waiting.
Yes, sir. Would you like to leave a callback number?
No, I don't need it. They know exactly who I am, and I want an officer down here.
Yes, sir.
You can, and I want this on the record. It's just more evidence against for my lawsuit. Okay, I'm calling for service. Okay, for vandalism, and I would like an officer down here ASAP. They're not on a call. They're not on any emergency call. I saw 3 of your officers sitting down in Langley Park on my way here. So I know they're not on a call, but I want an officer down here ASAP. Have a nice, and it's nothing against you. I know where it's coming from. But it's more evidence for my lawsuit, and it is coming.
Yes, sir. I'll let the shift supervisor know.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is what you got to do. These are the most corrupt individuals. When I came down through here, 3 officers were sitting down in Langley Park. What emergency is that? You see, this is the foolishness that they try to perpetrate. And I told you, when I first, on an emergency at 8 o'clock in the morning. You see, only emergency they send everybody to is a shooting. And they can't even catch the person for that. But yet and still, every time I call, it's about an emergency. When they don't want to respond to something. Hello. Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll be there today. I spoke to your mother. We'll be there today. All right. Patrick. As you see down this street, there's a truck parked on the right side, way down there. No tickets. But you want to come and fuck with my shit. And I'm so sick and tired of these motherfuckers, I don't know what to do. But I'm going to do it the right way. You're not going to intimidate me because you get away with that shit with other people. You don't put fear in me, chief, mayor. And you're about to learn that. You're going to do what people pay you to do when it comes down to me. Or we go into a courtroom and I'll get the judge, the prosecutor, and put them on blast just like I'm putting your dumb ass on blast or not doing your job or conspiring to violate people's rights. 3 officers sitting down in Langley Park burning up taxpayers' dollars doing nothing. And I knew the dispatcher was going to say, oh, they're all on emergency calls. This is the kind of rhetoric you get when they are butthurt and they don't want to respond to a call. The first thing they say is they're on emergency calls. Okay, we'll wait. I'm going to report this vandalism. Every time they write on my vehicle, I'm going to report it. No government agency has the right to write on a citizen's property without the consent of the citizen.
Officer 0000000 is recording.
And it's sad that they put these people in this position, like this dispatcher, where people have to go to a point of being irate with them just to get something across. I don't have nothing against this young lady. She's doing her job to pay her family bills and everything, but it's the brass that is putting her in this position because they're not doing their job. They're corrupt, from the chief, from the mayor, the city council people, all the way down. You got some dirty cops, but everybody's not dirty. Everybody on the police department cannot be that dirty, okay? But they have to pay their bills, they have to take care of their families, and to do so, they have to follow these criminals the rules and regulations of these criminals. And this is why immunity should be taken away from them so they can stand up and say, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm getting paid to serve the community, and I'm going out and I'm going to serve the community. And any retaliation, which they would do, because look at them, they're retaliating now. So I know they would retaliate against an officer who bucks on them. Okay? So a lot of people tell me I got a problem. I don't have a problem with law enforcement. I got a problem with these criminals who are running the law enforcement. As you see down there, more trucks are being parking down here. That's a no parking area. No parking area. But look at this guy. He done got out his truck. He probably going back there to use the bathroom in the woods. But yet and still, this is the area the chief says his people patrol. I guess they are patrolling it now because they know this vehicle back here. So they can come and write tickets on it. But they're not going down there where these trucks are parked. And these are areas that are marked no parking. And I hope that the chief and the mayor of Takoma Park, when we go to federal court, can bring me something where there's a federal law that states a citizen must register their private property with a government agency. See, most people don't understand this. When you go down to motor vehicle, you sign a contract with them saying you will follow all the rules and regulations when you get that driver's license and those tags on your vehicle, your private property. I don't have none of that. None of that. I have no contract to travel and move in this country, which is my right as a human being to do. And how I travel, that is my business. If I had a horse, would they be putting a ticket on my horse if I parked him right here? No. Would they tell me I need to put a tag on my horse if I rode my horse and travel with my horse? No. The only time you need tags and a driver's license is when you're doing commerce work. I travel in this van, in this vehicle. But as you see, there's 4 vehicles down there, no patrol, but we on a emergency alert in Takoma Park, Maryland, from what the dispatcher says, even though I saw 3 vehicles just sitting in Langley Park. Unbelievable. Retaliation, harassment. But I love it. And this is what more citizens need to do, is pull out those cameras and record these criminals doing their job. And Takoma Park has some good officers, don't get me wrong, but it's just like they know these people need their jobs to take care of their families. So you're going to follow the rules and regulations that these criminals at the top are telling you to do. And that's what's going on in this little town. I may beef with some of the officers. Everybody has a bad day, but you don't have all bad officers on the force. If you do, then you really got a problem in your town. But I don't think all these officers are bad. They're just taking care of their families by doing what they need to do to keep a job. But if you take immunity away from these people, this will stop. People will be held accountable for their own actions. And as you see, these trucks are still parked here. And I'm not going to say nothing if an officer comes. I'm going to see if he makes a move. I don't even think an officer is going to come. Well, we got another shooting in Takoma Park where all the officers needed to respond like they did at Advance Auto just to do traffic control, because they definitely don't know how to investigate shit. Everybody knows what happened down there at Advance Auto. Everybody. The only people don't know is the Barney Fife gang. And they have a camera right there, which was malfunctioning. I guess it was recording something else at the time. All right, what time is it? It is 8:39, and still no law enforcement has showed up. So I'm gonna kill this right now, and I'm gonna wait for the law enforcement to pull up, and then I'm gonna get back with you all. Stand by.